Break the chains, how to overcome fear and live your best life. Hey, you! Yeah, you sitting there ready to change your life. Let's do this. Welcome to Break the Chains, how to overcome fear and live your best life. Buckle up, my friend, because we're about to go on a wild, life-changing ride that's going to shake you up, wake you up, and set you free. Life's too short to be stuck, scared, or playing small. You know that feeling, right? That knot in your stomach, that voice in your head whispering, what if I fail? What if I'm not enough? That's fear, and it's chaining you down, keeping you from the life you were born to live. Life of courage, freedom, and pure, unstoppable joy. But today, we're done with that. We're breaking those chains. We're gonna crush fear, unlock your inner fire, and get you living your best life. Bold, free, and absolutely unstoppable. Picture this, you're standing in the middle of a storm. Winds howling, chaos swirling, but you're calm, confident, with a spark in your eyes that says, I've got this. That's the life we're building today. Not just surviving, but thriving, dancing through the chaos, shining brighter than a supernova, and living every day like it's your masterpiece. Can you feel that energy surging? Can you sense the shift in your soul? This is your moment to break free and soar. Who's me? Let's dive in and make it happen. Step one to name your fear. Listen, fear's a sneaky little thief. It creeps into your mind like a fog, steals your confidence, and locks you in a cage you didn't even know you were in. It's like a shadow following you everywhere, whispering lies that keep you small, dimming your light before you even get a chance to shine. But here's the deal, you can't break free until you know exactly what you're fighting. So let's get real. Right now, no holding back. What's holding you back? Is it fear of failing at that new job you're thinking about? Fear of what people will say if you chase that big dream, starting that business, writing that book, or moving to a new city? Or maybe it's that deep down fear of not being good enough, like you're carrying a backpack stuffed with doubts, weighing you down every step of the way, making every move feel heavier than it should. I get it, my friend. I've been there. I remember when I wanted to start my own business. Every time I thought about it, my brain screamed, "You're gonna crash and burn! You're not ready! You don't have what it takes!" That fear had me stuck for months, hiding from my own potential, playing it safe while my dreams gathered dust in the corner of my mind. I'd wake up every day feeling like I was letting myself down, like I was living someone else's life. But one day I realized something: I couldn't fight what I couldn't name. So I sat down, looked that fear in the eye, and called it out. I'm afraid of failing. And you know what? That was the moment everything started to change. Here's the secret that flipped my world: naming your fear strips away its power. It's like shining a flashlight on that monster under the bed. Suddenly it's just a pile of clothes, not so scary anymore. Right now, I want you to do this with me. Grab a piece of paper or open a note on your phone. Write down one fear that's holding you back. Be brutally honest with yourself. Is it rejection, failure, looking silly in front of others? Maybe it's starting that side hustle, asking for that promotion, or even speaking up in a meeting. Whatever it is, name it. Say it out loud. I'm afraid of fill in the blank. I feel that. That's your first step to breaking the chain. When you call it out, you're not running from it anymore. You're standing tall, facing it head on. And let me tell you, you're stronger than any fear you'll ever face. Think about someone you admire, someone who's living big, a friend, a mentor, a celebrity. They've got fears too, but they named them and kept moving. That's what you're doing today. You're not alone in this. Every successful person has stared fear down and won. Maybe it's that entrepreneur who started with nothing but a dream, or that artist who shared their work despite the critics. They named their fear, and now it's your turn. So write it down, say it out loud, and own it. Take a deep breath and feel that weight start to lift. Who's ready to name that fear and take the first step? Let's do this! Step 2, flip the script. Now that you've named your fear, it's time to flip it upside down and take control. Fear's just a story you're telling yourself, and guess what? You're the author, baby! You get to rewrite that story and make it one of victory, not defeat. Stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I succeed? Instead of, what if they laugh at me? Try, what if I inspire them? What if I change their lives? Your mind believes the story, you feed it. So why not feed it something that lights you up, that pushes you forward, that makes you feel alive? I learned this the hard way, and I'm gonna get real with you. Back when I was stuck, I kept telling myself I wasn't ready to start that business. My story was all about failure, embarrassment, and staying in my comfort zone. I'd lie awake at night imagining every worst case scenario, losing money, looking foolish, letting people down. It was like a movie in my head, and I was the director of my own disaster film. It was paralyzing, keeping me stuck in a loop of doubt. But one day I got fed up. I said, no, I'm rewriting this story. I grabbed a notebook and started telling myself, I'm learning, I'm growing, and every step I take is building my dream. I pictured myself succeeding, shaking hands with clients, celebrating milestones, living the life I always wanted. I focused on what I could control: my effort, my attitude, my next move. And you know what? That new story changed everything. I took action, made mistakes, learned, and kept pushing. Now I'm living proof that flipping the script works. Here's a story I love. There was a guy who dreamed of being a musician, but he was terrified of performing in front of a crowd. His story was, they'll boo me off the stage, I'm not good enough. But he flipped it to, I'm gonna share my music and connect with just one person. He started small, playing at open mics, his hands shaking with every chord. That new story gave him courage, and now he's selling out shows and touching hearts with his music. That's the power of rewriting your narrative. Here's how you do it. Take that fear you wrote down next to it. write a new story. If your fear is, I'll fail at this job, your new story is, I'm gonna crush this job and learn every step of the way. If it's, I'm scared to start my business, right? I'm building something amazing, one step at a time. Say it out loud, feel it in your bones. Believe it, picture yourself living that new story. What do you see? Maybe it's you walking into that job with confidence or launching that project with pride. Every time that old fear creeps in, hit it with your new story. You're not a victim of fear, you're the author of your victory. Try this tonight before you go to bed. Read your new story out loud. Let it sink in, let it replace the old doubts. You're rewriting your future, one thought at a time. Can you feel that shift? Who's ready to rewrite their story right now? Step 3, take one bold step, right? You've named your fear, you've flipped the script, now it's time to move! Fear loves to keep you frozen, stuck in place, overthinking every move until you're paralyzed. But action. Action is fear's kryptonite. You don't need to leap across the Grand Canyon or climb Mount Everest today. Just take one bold step, something small but brave that screams, fear, you don't own me. Maybe it's sending that email you've been avoiding for weeks. Maybe it's signing up for that class you've been dreaming about. Or maybe it's just standing in front of the mirror and saying, I'm enough and I'm ready. I'll never forget my first bold step. I was terrified to pitch my business idea to a group of investors. My hands were shaking, my heart was pounding like a drum, and my brain was yelling, they're gonna laugh you out of the room. I could have stayed in my safe little bubble, but I said, I'm doing this. I walked into that room, pitched my heart out, my voice cracking at first, but getting stronger with every word. And even though I didn't get the deal, I walked out taller, stronger, prouder. That one step broke a chain I didn't even know was holding me back. It showed me I was bigger than my fear. I heard about a woman who was scared to death of public speaking. She started small, just sharing her ideas in a team meeting, her voice trembling, her palms sweaty. That tiny step led to her leading presentations, and now she's a keynote speaker traveling the world, inspiring thousands. That's the power of one bold move. Here's another example. A friend of mine wanted to start a fitness journey, but was terrified of stepping into a gym. She thought, everyone's gonna judge me. But she took one bold step. She signed up for a beginner's class. That first class was scary, but it led to more classes, new confidence, and a healthier life. One step changed everything. Here's how you make it happen. Think of one small action you can take today to face your fear. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be yours. Maybe it's texting a friend to join you in a new project. Maybe it's posting that video you've been too scared to share. Or maybe it's just writing down your dream and saying, I'm starting today. Write it down right now. My bold step is fill in the blank. Commit to it. Do it before the sun goes down. Action builds courage, courage builds momentum, and momentum builds your best life. And here's a tippy: when you take that step, celebrate it. Give yourself a high five, dance in your living room, tell a friend. Every bold move is a win, and you're stacking those wins into a life you love. Who's taking that bold step today? Let's make it real. Live your best life. Listen up, my friend. Fear doesn't get to call the shots anymore. You do. You're not here to live a small, scared, half-lit life, tiptoeing around your dreams like they're too big to touch. No way! You're here to break the chains, to live bold, to shine so bright the world can't look away, and to create a life that makes you leap out of bed every morning with a smile that screams, I'm unstoppable. Today, you've learned how to name your fear, flip the script, and take that bold step. You're not just breaking chains, you're building a legacy of courage, strength, and unstoppable energy that's going to ripple out and change the world around you. Picture this: you standing tall with a fire in your heart that no storm can put out. The chaos of life, bills, doubters, setbacks swirling around you like a hurricane, but you're in the center, unshaken, with a vibe that says, I've got this. That's the life you're meant for, a life of passion, purpose, and power. You're not just surviving anymore, you're thriving, dancing through the rain, soaring above the noise, and living every day like it's a masterpiece you're painting with every choice you make. Can you see it? Can you feel it in your bones? That's your future, and it starts right now. But here's the thing: freedom doesn't just happen. You've got to claim it, own it, live it. Every time fear tries to creep back in, you remind it who's in charge. You tell it, not today. I'm living my best life. You've got the tools now. You know how to call out your fear, rewrite your story, and take action. Those aren't just steps, they're your superpower. They're the keys to unlocking a life so big, so bold, it inspires everyone around you. Think about it: when you break your chains, you're not just freeing yourself, you're showing your friends, your family, even strangers on the internet that they can do it too. You're starting a movement. So, here's your challenge, and I want you to act on it before this video ends. Grab that piece of paper or your phone. Write down your fear, your new story, and one bold step you're taking today to live your best life. Maybe it's telling someone about your dream. Maybe it's signing up for that course you've been eyeing. Or maybe it's just looking in the mirror and saying, I'm enough and I'm ready. Do it, own it. Make it real. And then don't stop there. Share this video with someone who needs to break their chains too. Text it to a friend. Post it on your socials. Spread the fire. Let's start a movement, a fearless, thriving game, changing people who refuse to let fear win. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's keep this energy burning bright. You're not just living, you're living your best life, full of courage, joy, and unstoppable power. This is your moment. This is your time. Who's with me? Let's break those chains, soar to new heights, and show the world what it looks like to live free.